Right. Now I see everyone is settled. Helping everyone settle down and everyone coming in, find their seats. Thank you. All right, I think we have everyone in the room. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and aspiring entrepreneurs. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to stand before you today as we inaugurate the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program. This initiative brought to you by the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute in collaboration with our esteemed partner, Absa, represents a significant leap forward in nurturing the entrepreneurial spirit among the youth. This past Wednesday, we concluded our inspiring youth entrepreneurship tour, a remarkable journey, I must say, that took us through all 9 provinces of our nation. Our final leg was in the beautiful province. Actually, I like to say the best province in the country because I'm from there. Guess which province? Mpumalanga. That's good. All right, so we were in Mpumalanga, and this whole journey, it was very fitting for us to do, and we actually are so proud of ourselves. The YAEI team skills, and most importantly, to provide them with access to organized entrepreneurial skills, and most importantly, to provide them with access to organized entrepreneurial knowledge. With me, maybe that will make me feel better. Thank you. All right, so the primary objectives of this skills program is to enhance the entrepreneurial mindset of our entrepreneurs and also the innovative abilities that they have. As you would have known that we have innovative businesses within the 30, and also to improve their business skills, but most importantly, to get them access organized entrepreneurial knowledge. We firmly believe that by equipping the youth with these essential tools, we can empower them to take meaningful contributions to their communities and to the economy at large. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Ms. Zinhle Raiza. She is the manager at Absa for Corporate Citizenship and Entrepreneurship Programs. Can we please welcome her with a round of applause?
Don't worry about shaking. Okay. Do you want to take this? Okay. Thank you so much, Program Director Mtandazo. My name is Zinhle Raiza, and I'm the manager in corporate citizenship for entrepreneurship programs and colleague volunteering. I would like to say good morning to all the distinguished guests, esteemed partners, and most importantly, the bright young entrepreneurs joining us virtually today and also present in the room. It is an honor to be here representing Absa at the launch of the YAEI and Absa Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program. I would like to begin by acknowledging our partners, the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute, YAEI, led by CEO Risuna Maluleke. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to Deputy Director General Mr. Zugile Mvalo, and all other government stakeholders and partners present here today. At Absa, our purpose is clear. It is about empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. Today, we are proud to stand alongside YAEI and all of you as we embark on the second leg of the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program. For us, this initiative is not just a milestone in our partnership, but a demonstration of our firm commitment to supporting the youth of South Africa and truly realizing their entrepreneurial potential. So why is this important for Absa? So we recognize that youth entrepreneurship is a key driver of economic transformation and job creation. South Africa's future rests in the hands of young people who have dynamic minds just like you. We are not only looking for young people who are job seekers, but also job creators. The skills, mindset, and determination to build sustainable ventures are more important now than ever, and Absa believes that empowering young entrepreneurs is critical to advancing inclusive growth and financial independence. As part of our group corporate citizenship strategy, we have placed financial inclusion through entrepreneurship at the front and center of our efforts. Our aim is to help young entrepreneurs, especially women and those coming from underserved communities, transition from informal enterprises to formalized businesses. We are particularly focused on creating opportunities for youth to move from entrepreneurial awareness to intent and ultimately to action. Our partnership with YAEI illustrates this vision. The Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program is a robust and transformative 8-week program that will upskill 300 entrepreneurs, which we have worked with along the tour from across all 9 provinces in the country. Through entrepreneurial education, sustainable business development practices, and mentorship, we are equipping young people with the tools they need to succeed in today's competitive market. We have a broader vision at hand, and this program is part of a larger, scaled effort that aligns with our goal of financial inclusion through entrepreneurship. We are not just investing in training, we're investing in the future of South Africa's economy. We want to see more young people creating businesses, generating wealth, and contributing to their communities. We have invested 3.5 million and made this commitment to support YAEI and supporting 2,700 young youth in all 9 provinces. We are delivering on this promise, starting with the Youth Entrepreneurship Tour, which we just concluded this past Wednesday, and the Skills Development Program. Thank you. By taking part in the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program, each of you will have the opportunity to not only develop your businesses, but also be part of a network of entrepreneurs who are shaping South Africa's future. The mentorship and guidance you will receive are invaluable, and I encourage you, all of you, young entrepreneurs, to seize this moment and maximize every learning opportunity presented to you. For us at Absa, we say that we believe that your story matters. I think this is very powerful. The stories of young people are filled with creativity, resilience, and innovation. You, young people, are problem solvers, gifted with unique perspectives that our country desperately needs. This is why Absa is here. We are deeply committed to financial inclusion through entrepreneurship. This means giving young people the opportunity to formalize their ventures, scale their impact, and become successful entrepreneurs. It is about helping them to take their ideas from concept to reality, and supporting them in creating sustainable, job-creating enterprises that will uplift their communities and strengthen our economy. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought. Entrepreneurship is not just about starting a business. It's about solving problems, building communities, and creating a better future. Through our partnership with YAEI, Rusina, and through programs like YESP, we are empowering young people to take control of their stories and create a future that is bright, inclusive, and prosperous. To the young entrepreneurs joining us today, remember that your story matters. Your ideas, your creativity, your hard work, these are the building blocks of South Africa's tomorrow. We believe in you, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Absa is committed to walking this journey with you, providing the skills, mentorship, and resources to help you build sustainable and impactful businesses. Together, let's embrace the future, unlock potential, and create a new narrative for youth entrepreneurship in South Africa. Thank you and best of luck to all of you as you embark on this exciting program. Thank you.
Another warm round of applause for Ms. Raiza. To all my entrepreneurs, how many of you are ready to take the leap of faith and start your journeys? I love that. I love the energy. All right, without any waste of time, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome the head of advisory from the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute, Ms. Kenzani Mnyambi.
Hello, everyone. Okay, we're very excited today. So we're getting to the panel already today. So basically, I'm the advisory head, executive head of advisory, and I work with most of the entrepreneurs that are here today. Give yourselves a hand, guys, for coming through. All right, so we'll basically be starting with our panel. It's focusing on cultivating an entrepreneurial society through practical skills. A lot of entrepreneurs need practical skills, right? There's also the mindset elements that are incorporated in that, but today we'll just be focusing a lot on the practical skills. So I'll call upon my panel, who will be joining me, my lovely panel, to deliver on this project. All right, cool. So the first person I'd like to call up is Bongani Masilela from Capacity, which is under UVU Africa. Awesome. And then I would like to call upon the Mr. Morare Mapeko from TETA. Okay. And then I'd like to call our anchor partner, who's going to be part of the panel as well, Mr. Tumelo from ED. And then last but not least, Mr. Sipho Shoba from WRCTA, the COO. Are you guys excited? Yeah. I'm not seeing enough smiles. I'm not convinced. You're not excited? Guys. All right. I think I'll just have the panel from here, right? And I will be moderating. I think the first thing maybe is for you guys to just introduce what kind of work that you do. Don't go into too much details or else I won't have any other questions to ask. But just briefly, what kind of work you do so that everyone here knows and they can just go search on LinkedIn, etc.
Thank you. I'll try to wrap up within an hour. I'm Dumelo Tlapi. I am part of the enterprise development team at Absa. My role in the team is post-loan management. Post-loan management, the area of focus there, we monitor the businesses that we have funded. The intention is really to identify any potential risks that can affect sustainability and profitability of those businesses. When we identify any challenges, our role is to remediate them, to see to it that the business gets back to normal. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Program Director. Hey, you are really compromising me now. Honestly, because when you say we must not go that far, you are really putting me on a tight spot because my boss is here. The DTG, if we don't say a lot what we do as sitters, then we'll go back.
Don't worry, I'll give you a time to show off.
Okay,
with the
perfect. But thank you very much. My name is Sipho Shoba, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Wholesale and Retail SITA. It's one of the 21 SITAs, as you'll know, that exist in this country, and our key focus is on a wholesale and retail. And generally, all SITAs, we've got one standard statutory mandate, which is to receive the levies and disperse them to our respective sectors. And secondly, we have a statutory mandate to develop qualifications that could be in a form of learnership skills program and other related qualifications in part or full to support the sector that we are responsible for. And another key statutory mandate for the SETAs really is to professionalize our various sectors through skills development revolution. I'm sure you'll appreciate that when the SETAs were established, one of the key fundamental questions was what to be addressed was the issue of the skills shortages. As we entered into our new democratic dispensation, there's been quite a lot of, in particular, people of historical disadvantage that were, by default or by systematical mechanisms were sidelined in terms of being given the key strategic skills that will be needed for the economy of this country. So that's basically why the SETAs had to be established, then really to redress the issue of skills in various sectors. And I think that is just at a high level of what we do. Then as wholesale and retail SETA, yes, I'm not going to, because my colleagues are coming from other SETAs, I'm not going to say in terms of the size, whether we pick or not, but we have about 24,000 plus organizations that are registered with us actively paying levies to an amount of plus minus on average 102 million to 110 million per month, which translates to almost 1.4 billion on revenue collection. And of these 24,000, plus minus 12,000 or so are actively submitting their workplace skills plan each year. And we've got that statutory mandate, therefore, to pay back 20% of those mandatory grants to these 12,000 plus, and the remaining is at our discretion to can allocate either for supporting SMME development, supporting a student studying at various institutions through bursaries, and also normal learnership and internship programs that we do generally for the sector. I think that is just high level.
High level, yeah. I think the panel is over.
Very, very detailed.
Very, very detailed, high level.
Very important indeed. My name is Marore Mapeko. I'm from the Transport SETA. So the crew here has covered most of the mandate of our SETAs. Mainly what we do as SETAs, our focus is on the Transport SETA. Maybe I should recognize the leadership that's also in the house, our DDG, and all the leadership from the Department of Higher Education and Training, leadership of YAEI and Absa. I'm in strategic planning within the Transportation SETA. I think our core mandate, like I said, has been touched on. Our mainly in the main, we are just trying to ensure that within the transport sector, we've got a pipeline of professionals that are ready for the work that needs to be done within the transportation sector. We're trying to ensure that the skills that are available in the sector also are meeting the requirements of industry. We continually look into developing new qualifications, but I'll give you more details as we go on.
Yes.
And improving our curriculum to ensure that we are relevant to the sector, to the transport sector. Thank you.
Right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Bongani. I work at a company called Capacity under Uvu Africa as a project manager. Essentially what we do is that we work in the skills development space for IT. That's long story short. Absa, funny enough, is one of my clients at work. And what we do is that we develop the next generation of technology talent from software, AI, data engineering, all of those types of skills to make sure that South African businesses have the skills that they need from a tech point of view to keep them as competitive as possible on the global stage. In a previous life, I was an entrepreneur for about 4 or 5 years, and my journey started off at WITS. And again, Absa was a client when I was in, so they follow me everywhere I go, essentially. And I think my work experience has taught me a number of things, from what it takes to thrive in business, what it takes to fail in business, and sometimes why it's important to work for someone if you want to learn a lot about the business world. So in a nutshell, that's who I am.
Amazing, Moani. Still on you, actually. So you can just, keep the mic.
Yeah.
You spoke about your entrepreneurial journey. You were an entrepreneur, then you went to the field of work,
Yeah.
right? Let's deep dive on some of the practical skills that you acquired in that field of work so that you could go back and pivot into the entrepreneurial space, and those skills would essentially be helpful.
Yeah. So, good question. So for me, with my entrepreneurial journey, long story short, it started off at WITS because I was a debater and a public speaker. So as a result, I created an education company that focuses on that, and we worked with CSI sponsors and philanthropies to expand those programs across South Africa. It went very, very well. At 23, I'd made my first million while I was doing my honors. At 25, I was bankrupt and I moved back to my mother's house, right? So what was interesting about that is when I left business, there was another business that I tried to pursue during COVID. I think most entrepreneurs during COVID pivoted and tried something else that didn't work. I had no business doing that business. And then a few months down the line, I realized what I actually needed was to learn how bigger organizations work. Because at heart, I'm an entrepreneur and I'd love to get back to the space, but I had to humble myself to the fact that there's a reason why big organizations are big, and there's something that I have to learn from that. It might not be sexy, it might not be exciting, because everyone in my family knew me as an entrepreneur, but there were practical skills that I needed to learn in the workplace, particularly project management, right? These are some of the things that aren't exciting, that aren't cool, but if you're not managing the flow of data within your company, then your company will fall, no matter how innovative your product is. If you're not learning how to manage complex relationships in the workplace and the politics that exist everywhere, then you won't scale an organization unless you're able to manage those personalities. Finally, if you're not able to build systems, it doesn't matter how innovative you are, systems are what help you scale your impact to more than just the people in front of you. So that's the reason why I haven't looked down on my journey of working for someone. Instead, I've really taken a lot from the practical skills that I've learned in the workplace, working for a company that's about 10 times bigger than the one I ran when I was an entrepreneur. So yeah.
That deserves a round of applause. Thank you. I think you touched on a couple of practical skills there. For the entrepreneurs that are here, it's very important to be able to manage your project, to have systems in place. And from the advisory, if you guys come to consultations, then you know these are some of the things that we try and teach as well, right? You touched on bankruptcy. That's a problem for most of the entrepreneurs. They start, they make money, it doesn't go that well. So financial management becomes a very key element. So to Tumelo, who's our Absa representative, what kind of products do you have to assist on the financial management for entrepreneurs that they can leverage from the bank?
So I'll answer from an enterprise development point of view. So we don't necessarily have specific products that we use, but we have got a panel of external service providers that we've put there to respond to different skills gaps that we see in the entrepreneurs that we've supported. So this would be typically financial management, operations management, or business optimization, helping businesses to clearly identify the things that they should focus on, and then help them to strategize accordingly in order for them to grow that business and run it sustainably. So we do that as enterprise development, particularly because the businesses that we give opportunities to are regarded as previously disadvantaged businesses, where you would come across a lot of people that may not necessarily have adequate background or experience in terms of running that particular business that they need funding for. So when we identify a person that has got strong potential based on the skills that they have, the opportunity that they have received from an established corporate entity or from a public sector entity, we do our detailed diagnosis of that particular entrepreneur to understand where are potential skills gaps. And then we start to prepare ourselves to respond to those skills gaps as part of us enabling them to run a sustainable business. And then it's an ongoing journey. The nature of the funding that we provide as enterprise development is an unsecured lending. So we will not want to have your house as collateral. So as a result, it requires us to pay particular attention to how you are running your operations, so for us to guarantee ourselves that us as the bank, as a business, will be able to get back the money that we would have given you as funding for your business. And that's why we invest so much heavily on our monitoring capability and post-loan support that we provide to the businesses, because at the end of the day, it becomes enterprise development when you have started somebody when they were at a certain level and they've grown to a certain level and they are able to manage the success that they've accomplished sustainably as well. Yeah,
Thank you so much for that. I think I'll deep dive again into what the criteria looks like there, but specifically to the SETAs, what training programs, because I mean for TETA it's training authority, what training programs are there and what kind of practical skills do they equip? Because earlier I think you spoke about that reconciling what is needed in industry with what is lacking right now for entrepreneurs. So perhaps deep dive on that as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. We've got a number of research studies that we run as a SETA. And one of the research studies that we have currently running is trying to determine if the transport sector is ready for the green transport economy, for the developments that are happening within the transportation sector. You might be aware of some changes within logistics. I think in countries like the USA, they are already exploring drone deliveries, for example. And those are spaces that we might need to tap into in the very near future. So we first of all, in order for us to make decisions or invest into projects that will impact the lives of our South Africans, but also be relevant to the industry, we do a lot of research in those areas. Green economy, for example, we have quite a lot of carbon emissions in Gauteng alone. Taxis contribute towards 23% of carbon emissions. So we need to then start looking at whether our transportation industry is really ready for a green future. So what we do then is once we've found, we've got another research, of course, on 4IR skills. And when we found those skills that are future skills that we need to invest into, we put quite a lot of effort in those skills. There is a lot of motorbike transportation that is happening with as technology or 4IR is kicking in. A lot of people are now opting to order from home and not go to directly to the malls to buy their groceries, for example. We have a project which we worked on with Bank Sita as an example, where we are capacitating SMMEs. We recruited unemployed youth, 1,050 unemployed youth in 2023. They were taken through new venture creation, but also assisted in registering their own organization, and also mentored and coached. And I think mentoring and coaching is a key aspect, and I would encourage the young entrepreneurs in the room to not take any mentoring and coaching opportunities lightly. Similar to the colleague sitting next to me, I've also been in business, and I think one of my downfalls was chasing the money and not considering maybe rubbing shoulders with those that have been in the industry for quite some time. And also rubbing shoulders with those that are also running in the same industry, people who are also startups in the business, and who just maybe interacting with them just to pick up some of the things that mistakes that they might have made that I could avoid. So networking is also very important for you guys. Please don't take it lightly. Don't just chase the money. Innovate. look for opportunities to innovate. As you meet colleagues, as you meet your stakeholders, you'll find gaps that you can address through your business. Take risks, do not be afraid to take risks. So yeah, we do have opportunities for young people, SMMEs within the transportation sector. I'm very biased when I speak because I'll always mention transportation. That's my area, that's where I am, but also skills development. So we have those opportunities within the transportation sector, particularly mentoring and coaching. Yeah. Partnerships are also important. Young people take advantage of partnering with others. You can also tap into the transportation sector through partnering with people who are experts in the area, and you could also use your skills or the offerings of your organization to improve or better the lives of South Africans out there. An example could be these drones that are we currently, there's more and more drones that drone training that we fund as a SETA, but also technology is moving in that direction also, and we don't have enough technicians in that area. Tesla recently, the Tesla CEO recently came to South Africa, and he would like to introduce electric vehicles in the country. But who's going to maintain that electric vehicle? Do we have mechanics who can maintain those electric vehicles? So you could also look into such areas. We publish our sector skills plans, our research outcomes on our website. You could also, I would encourage you to read. Visit our websites, read as much as possible. We do identify these gaps within our sectors, but we are not the implementers. We are only facilitating skills development. We need industry, we need SMMEs to be the ones to go out there and implement programs to help to close the gaps that we have identified. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think you've mentioned quite a lot of very, very key points. You mentioned what's lacking. We're not ready maybe for certain things, and you speak about drone deliveries. So as we're going across the country for the tours, there are people who are doing that. You know, they're implementing the drones, but not having an understanding of the industry and whether that's something that would work is a problem. So I think there's a gap, there's a mismatch there. In I see this idea, I think it's cool. It's being done in other countries, but would it work here? Is this country ready for something like that, right? I think, Mr. Shawa, it's your time to shine as well. Just touching base on the training programs there that offer practical skills at WR-SETA.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure whether I'm going to shine because my colleague has already painted a picture of me sitting with, buildings with no retailers because everyone is now going, digital in terms of your last miles and also in terms of your drone and all that. So I'm not sure in terms of other programs that we are still implementing as a SETA. But, well, we are consciously aware as a SETA of, the e-commerce space that it's really coming up very aggressively. But few of the things that we have identified in one of the research studies we've conducted is that there is still that particular, a belief from your customer base, in particular in this country, for a touch and feel type of retailing. As WR-SETA, I think somewhere as early as 2012, we came up with one program called International Leadership Development Program, which is a prestige program, wherein we'll identify about 60 executives who come from the retail sector, and we do both European international immersion and African immersion, where we'll select or identify countries in the West. Canada in particular is one of the main, US,